Welcome to this afternoon's game at Wrigley Field. Today, the Cubs and the Diamondbacks will duke it out. The last place Diamondbacks own a 18-23 record. Chicago comes in at 24-15, placing them second in the National League Central Division. Head-to-head, Chicago has won 5 of 5 from Arizona. The temperature is 58 with lots of sun. Pitcher-friendly conditions. With the wind blowing in from center. We're all set for baseball. Making the start for the Cubs, Caleb Killian. He has 1 win and 2 losses with a 4.60 ERA. Striking out 32 in 31.1 innings pitched. Dalton Varsho steps to the plate. This season he's batting .206. Killian winds up and throws. First pitch swinging is Varsho. And he missed the sinker. Killian kicks and deals. Varsho with a swing. Hit on the ground. Towards second. Quiroz grabs it. The throw to first. And Varsho is retired. Geraldo Perdomo steps in. He's batting .235 this year. With 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in. Bases empty, 1 out. From the windup. Killian offers. Swung on. Lined squarely. To shallow left. In pursuit is Frazier. But he can't get it. It falls in for a hit. The pitch. Swung on. Sent in the air. Out to left center field. Frazier fades back on it. Hayward also in pursuit. But Frazier is locked in on it. And he brings it down. Hicks holds the runner at first. The pitch. There goes Perdomo. Changeup just misses the outside corner. Gomes fires the ball to second. Perdomo goes in head first. And he's safe. That's his first steal this season. Now, the right fielder Jordan Luplow. Luplow is on a roll. Recording at least 1 hit in 11 straight games. Killian kicks and fires. Luplow swings. Line shot. Down the right field line. It drops in for a hit. To third goes Perdomo. On his way home is Perdomo. Long throw toward home. Perdomo slides. And he's safe. Jordan Luplow delivers the RBI single. Luplow is on a roll, hitting in 12 straight games now. The Diamondbacks grab the lead 1-0. Here's Carson Kelly. Killian brings it. Kelly swings. Sent in the air. To deep center field. Hayward giving chase. To the track. He reaches for it. But it's just past his glove. The ball hops off the fence. To third goes Luplow. Hayward has it. The relay. Kelly slides. And he's safe. Kelly with a double. The lead runner Luplow hangs on at third. It's Christian Walker up to bat. He's hitting .198 this year. With 2 home runs and 5 RBI. From the stretch. A 1 offering. Walker swings at it. Hit in the air. Slicing towards Suzuki in right. And he makes the grab. That retires the side. The Diamondbacks pick up a run on 3 hits, no errors. 2 runners left on. The Diamondbacks are now ahead 1-0. Pitching for the Diamondbacks is Zach Davies. He's 2-3 with a 2.82 ERA. In 44.2 innings he's allowed 5 home runs. Davies is 4th in ERA in the NL at 2.82. The Diamondbacks with a 1-0 lead. As Jonathan VR gets set to hit for Chicago. The windup and the pitch. Low, 1-0. Davies delivers. Swung on. Hit in the air. To center, medium depth. Varsho hustles toward it. And reaching up he has it. Seiya Suzuki, the right-handed batting right fielder, is up. He's hitting .239. With 9 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Bases empty with 1 out. Davies toes the rubber. Into the windup. He kicks and fires. Suzuki swings. Curveball hit in the air. Into deep right. Going back on it is Luplow. And he reaches up to grab it. Here's Frank Schwindel. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on. Ground ball, sharply hit. Toward short. Pulled in by Ahmed. The throw over to Walker. And that'll retire Schwindel. That retires the side. The Cubs are set down in order. The score remains 1-0 in favor of the Diamondbacks. David Peralta digs in. Freight train is hitting .293. The payoff pitch. Swung on. Ripped past Quiroz for a single. The shortstop Nick Ahmed bats next. He's hitting .228. With 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. The pitch from Killian. Swung on. Slow roller to the right side of the mound. Killian gloves it. Throws it to VR for 1. But VR chooses not to make the relay throw. Sergio Alcantara is coming up. He has 6 runs batted in this year. To go with no home runs. And a .240 batting average. There's 1 down. Killian sets. Checks on Ahmed. Kicks and deals. Alcantara swings. Line. Down the right field line. Suzuki hurries. It's in there for a base hit. Ahmed moves over to third. Suzuki gets the ball back in. As Alcantara cruises into second with a double. Ahmed will hold at third. The batter is Dalton Varsho. Back in the first he grounded out to Quiroz. Hitters count. Killian from the stretch. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Geraldo Perdomo is up to bat. He's 1 for 1 to this point. The pitch. Perdomo checks his swing. The appeal. He went around. Strike 3. Here comes Seth Beer. He's 0 for 1. 1 to count on Beer with 2 out. Killian from the stretch. He deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Killian gets him with the sinker. That's 2 strikeouts now for Cale Killian. Side retired. The Diamondbacks get 3 base runners. But none scores. The Diamondbacks still have the lead 1-0.
And the stadium dogs are something totally different.
Hitting is Patrick Wisdom. Davies into the windup. And here's the 2-0 pitch. Wisdom hacks at it. Laced to center. Varsho has a shot at it. But it drops in for a single. Clint Frazier is next. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And that at-bat ends in a strikeout. Here's Jason Hayward. He's hitting .224 this year. With 1 home run and 20 RBI. He's hit .294 against Arizona, 5 hits in 17 at-bats. From the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hayward expanded the strike zone. Davies has his second strikeout. The next pitch from Davies. Swung on. Struck hard. In the hole, right side. Alcantara to his left has it. Then he fumbles it for an error. That was a makeable play. Alcantara commits his first miscue at second base. Over to second goes Wisdom. Esteban Quiroz due up next. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's a ball. And Davies walks him on 4 pitches. Wisdom hits third. Gomes goes to second base. John hits his next. The pitch. It swings. A chopper. Toward third. Perdomo hustles in. Scoops it up. But he shows good judgment. Holding onto the ball. Hicks picks up a hit. Wisdom is in with the run. Gomes to third. Quiroz takes second. John Hicks ties the game with a run-scoring single. The Cubs draw even 1-1. Up next. The shortstop VR. A hit here could knock in a couple of runs. He's 0 for 1. The stretch, the to-do. Swing and a miss. Davies gets him with the slider. Davies has fanned 3. Inning over. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. They leave the bases loaded. The Cubs have managed to even the score at 1. Here's Jordan Luplow. His first inning single put Arizona ahead 1-0. Killian throws the to-do. Low, strike 3. Jordan Luplow has fanned 20 times this season. Here's Carson Kelly. He had a double his last trip to the plate. The pitch. Kelly swings. Towering pop-up. On the infield, right side in foul territory. Could be playable. Hicks is on the move. And he closes the glove on it, 2 outs. That will bring up Walker. He's 0 for 1. Having flied out in the first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Side retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. Diamondbacks and Cubs still tied 1-1. Suzuki is up to bat. Davies winds. And fires the 0-2 pitch. Suzuki swings. Here's a hard ground ball. Third base side. Perdomo stretches out for it. And it's through and into left field. The defense failed the Diamondbacks that time. Peralta gets to it. The next batter will be Frank Schwindel. His last at-bat in the first. Ended in a ground out to the shortstop. The offering from Davies. Swing and a miss. Schwindel down on strikes. Check of the runner. And the pitch. There goes Suzuki. Ball 2. Kelly fires to second. Head first slide by Suzuki. And he's out. Kelly has erased 6 would-be base stealers in 18 tries. Patrick Wisdom steps in. He's 1 for 1. With a single in the second. 2-1 the count. The pitch. Wisdom swings. A grounder to the left side. The second baseman Alcantara has it. He lobs it over to first. And Wisdom is cut down. That retires the side. Nothing on 1 hit for the Cubs. Still 1-1, Diamondbacks and Cubs. Here's David Peralta. Killian with the wind-up. He rocks back. Wheels and fires. Swung on. A line drive to left. It drops down for a base hit. From the stretch. 0-1 offering. Ahmed showing bunt. In play. But it rolls foul down the first base line. Killian brings it. Ahmed with the swing. The ball put up in the air. To deep left field. Frazier tracking it. And he brings it in. Sergio Alcantara stands at the plate. He's 1 for 1. With a double his last at-bat in the second. Killian sets. Zeroes in on the target. And delivers. Alcantara swings. Bouncer. Toward the hole, left side. Wisdom handles it. Whips it to second for 1. But no relay throw will be made. Stepping in is Varsha. The outfield is shaded to the right. From the stretch. Killian makes the pitch. Varsha swings. Hit high. To deep right field. Suzuki on the run. Near the track. He reaches for it. But he can't make the catch. It bounces and hits the wall. Alcantara takes third. The throw to second will be late. As Varsho has a stand-up double. Perdomo is up next. He has singled and scored a run. Killian checks the sign. Kicks. And deals. Ball 4. And now the bases are loaded. Seth Beer is up to bat. 0 for 2 now. After his strikeout in the second. Killian has his sign. And delivers. Beer swings. In the air. To center. Aiming after it. And he reaches up to make the catch. The inning's over. The Diamondbacks mount a threat. But fail to score. The Diamondbacks and the Cubs still even 1-1.
Give me a hand, please. Oh, give him one too, huh?
The hitter is Frazier. He went down on strikes in the second. Frazier swings. Hit high in the air. On the infield. On the move Ahmed. And he makes the play for out number 1. Hayward steps in to face Davies. The 0-1. Swung on. Hit in the air. To the gap in deep right center. Luplow goes back on it. And he makes a leaping catch. Batting next for Chicago is Gomes. He has no hits in 1 plate appearance. The right-hander throws. Swung on. Lined. To the right side. Alcantara reaches for it. And he gets it. Nice play by Alcantara. The 4th is over. The Cubs go down in order. Diamondbacks and Cubs still tied at 1. Jordan Luplow stands at the plate. Killian into the windup. He kicks and fires the 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Grounded sharply. Into the hole, left side. VR handles it. The throw to Hicks. And Luplow is out by a couple of steps. That's 1 down. Carson Kelly stands in. It's the top of the 5th inning at Wrigley Field. The count is 2-2 with 1 out. Killian steps on the rubber. Starts his wind-up. And fires. Kelly swings. A fly ball. Out into deep right. Suzuki back on it. And he pulls it in. Walker is up. 0 for 2 in this one. Walker waits on the 3-2. Here it is. Walker swings at it. Hard hit grounder. Just inside the third base line. Lunging. But he can't get to it. The ball will roll all the way to the wall. The turn made at first by Walker. Frazier collects it. The relay. Walker slides in hard. And he's safe. Walker has himself a double. The umpire calls time. It's a balk. Killian turns toward the ump. Hoping to get an explanation. Taking third is Walker. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for Killian. And no RBI for Peralta. Caleb Killian gets his 5th strikeout. That's the inning. Nothing on a hit for the Diamondbacks. The score is still Diamondbacks 1, Cubs 1.
Stadium dogs are something totally different.
Into the box steps Quiroz. At bat in the second. With runners on first and second. He drew a walk. In the game, 0 for 0. Davies leans in. And checks the sign. Starts his wind-up. And here's the pitch. Swung on. Hit sharply. Down the line toward first. And it rolls into the outfield. The ball will roll toward the fence. Quiroz with the turn. Luplow quickly gets it back in. But not in time to get Quiroz. He strolls into second with a double. The right-handed batting Hicks stands in. He got a base hit to left in the second inning. From the stretch. The pitch. Hicks swings. Struck on the ground. Wide of third. And it's into left field. Hicks takes a wide turn at first. But he's bluffing. Taking third is Quiroz. Here comes VR. He's now 0 for 2. After Davies struck him out. Last time up in the second. Kelly flashes the sign. Davies sets and delivers. Swung on. A hard shot on the ground. Along the line at first. There to scoop it Walker. He steps on first for 1. Quick peg to second. Hicks dives. The tag. And he's safe. Quiroz crosses the plate. That'll bring up the right fielder Suzuki. Seiya in the game is 1 for 2. From the stretch. 1-0 offering. Suzuki swings. Grounded hard. Toward the hole, left side. And it rolls into left. A wide turn around first. But he's not going to chance it. Over to third goes Hicks. Getting set to hit is Schwindel. Last at bat in the third. With a runner on first. He struck out. It's the bottom of the 5th inning at Wrigley Field. 1 out, 3-1 the count. Davies has the sign from Kelly. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on. Lifted in the air. To deep center field. Tracking it is Varsho. Luplow racing in. But now it's Varsho calling him off. And he makes a running catch. Hicks is coming home. The throw toward home. Hicks slides. And he's in there, safe. Davies throws the 1-2 pitch. Wisdom swings. Hit on the ground. To the right side. Tough play for Alcantara. The throw to first. And the slow-footed Wisdom is out. Nice work by Alcantara. The inning is over. The Cubs get 2 runs. The Cubs jump out in front 3-1. Substitution. Chicago makes a pitching change left-hander Daniel Norris. His record is 4-0 with a 3.94 ERA. Daniel has struck out 15 in 16 innings pitched. First up here in the top of the 6th is Ahmed. He flied out to the left fielder Frazier. Back in the 4th inning. The wind-up, the pitch. Strike 1 called. One to count. Norris starts the wind-up. Pitches. Ahmed swings. Hard line shot to center. Hayward sprints in. But won't get there. That's a base hit. The lefty deals. Alcantara squares around to bunt. He pushes it in play. To the left side. Wisdom with the bare hand. The throw to first. In time to retire Alcantara. Alcantara does his job, getting the bunt down. Taking second is Ahmed. Dalton Varsho steps in. He picked up a double in the 4th. Norris delivers. Varsho swings. Lined hard. Out to short right center field. It falls in for Varsho. Over to third goes Ahmed. Ahmed around third and heading home. The throw home. Gomes turns and applies the tag. And he's safe. The Varsho single scores 1. The Diamondbacks draw closer. The score is 3-2. 2-1 count. Norris from the scratch. The pitch. Swing by Perdomo. Grounded sharply. Toward second. Played cleanly by Quiroz. He sends it to VR for 1. VR throws onto first. Taking care of Perdomo. Double play. That's the inning. The Diamondbacks get a run on 2 hits, no errors. Nobody left on. Chicago is ahead now 3-2. The first batter up is Frazier. He's 0 for 2 in this game. The right-hander gets the sign. Delivers. The swing. Hit on a line. Out to short center field. It falls in for a base hit. Davies ready. The pitch. Hayward turns to bunt. And makes contact. Toward the pitcher. Davies over to pick it up. The throw to first. And Hayward is out. Frazier to second. The right-handed batting Gomes is next. With runners in scoring position. He's hitting .241, going 7 for 29. 1 on, 1 out. Davies stretches. Glances back at Frazier. Kicks and deals. Swung on. Sent in the air. To deep right center field. Back on it is Varsho. Luplow also bearing down on it. But Varsho waves him off. And reaching up he grabs it. Frazier tags up at second. Frazier is safe at third. As the throw is cut off. Here's Quiroz. 1 for 1 so far. With a double in the 5th. The catcher Kelly sets up. Now Davies with the pitch. The swing. Hit well. Toward deep center. Varsho back on it. And he puts it away. The side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A runner left on base. The Cubs still in front 3-2. Here's Setbeer. Flied out to Hayward his last at-bat. 0 for 3 for the game. The delivery from Norris. Got him looking. Beer strikes out on a pretty fat pitch. Jordan Luplow comes up to bat. Into the windup. The 3-2 pitch. Slider over for strike 3. Carson Kelly is up next. Hoping to keep the inning alive. He's 1 for 3 so far this game. Now the 2-1. Swung on. And he lifts it. To left center. Backing up Hayward. Frazier closing in on it as well. But Hayward says it's his. And he reaches up for the catch. That's the inning. Zeros across for Arizona. The Cubs lead the Diamondbacks 3-2. The fans at Wrigley Field now rise. For the 7th inning stretch. John Hicks steps in. John singled to left in the 5th. From the windup. Davies kicks and fires. Hicks swings. Chopped over the head of Davies. And it finds the crease between the middle infielders. A base hit for Hicks. Here comes Jonathan VR. Batting from the left side. He grounded out to the first baseman Walker. Back in the 5th. The corners are drawn in. Check of the runner. The pitch. VR showing bunt. He makes contact. Near the hill. Davies fields it. The throw is made to first. And VR is out. That goes as a sacrifice hit for VR. Over to second goes Hicks. The batter up is Seiya Suzuki. 2 for 3 at the plate. 2 is the count. Davies gets his sign. Working from the stretch. The pitch. Suzuki swings. Hard hit to center. And Suzuki has a single. Hicks takes third. Hicks coming home. The throw toward home. Hicks slides. Kelly spins around and makes the tag. And he's safe. Suzuki with an RBI single. Seiya Suzuki increases his RBI total to 27. The Cubs add to their lead. It's 4-2. Davies leans in for the sign. The 0-2 pitch. It misses very low, a wild pitch. Kelly chases it toward the backstop. Suzuki to second. Davies throws the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And he's out on strikes. Patrick Wisdom digs in. A count of 2 on the hitter. Davies holds the set. Now the pitch. Wisdom watches strike 3. That curveball caught the outside corner. That's it in the Chicago 7th. The Cubs score 1 run on 2 hits. A runner left on. Chicago pads their lead. The score is now 4-2, Cubs. Walker settles in. With the bases empty in the 5th. He hit a double. Norris winds up. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Walker with a swing. Grounded hard to Wisdom. He takes it in. And throws to Hicks for the out. Substitution. Here's Cooper Hummel. 1-1 count on Hummel. With 1 down. Norris on the slab. He winds. And throws. Hummel swings. Grounder slap to the left side. Fielded by the third baseman Wisdom. The throw to first. And Hummel is out. Next up is Nick Ahmed. He's had a 1 for 3 game so far. The 1-1 pitch to Nick. Ahmed swings. Lined. Toward shallow center field. In comes Hayward. But he can't get to it. It falls in for Ahmed. Substitution. Entering for Chicago left-hander Drew Smyly. He has a record of 2-1. With a 4.68 ERA. And he struck out 9.72 batters per 9 innings. The hitter is Sergio Alcantara. At bat in the 6th. With a runner on first. He laid down a sacrifice bunt. He might waste this next one. Here it is. A swing, a miss, strike 3. Side retired. The Diamondbacks get nothing and strand 1. The score is still 4-2, Cubs.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
To lead it off for Chicago in the 8th. Here's Clint Frazier. 1 for 3 to this point. 2 to count. The wind-up and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here comes Jason Hayward, a left-handed batter. Up to bat in the 6th. With a runner on first. He laid down a sacrifice bunt. For the game, 0 for 2. Chicago bats with 1 out. Here's the wind-up. And the pitch. Swung on. Hit on the ground. Alcantara is right there. And he throws Hayward out at first. Set to hit is Yan Gomes. So far in this one, 0 for 3. The count is 1-0. 2 out. Davies winds up and delivers. Gomes with a swing. Hit on a line. To left. Hummel on the move. And he has it for the out. That's all for Chicago in the 8th. Chicago goes down in order. Cubs still out in front of the Diamondbacks, 4-2. Substitution. Coming in to pitch for Chicago right-hander Ethan Roberts. Ethan has pitched in 17 games. Striking out 6.32 and walking 4.6 per 9 innings. To date, He has 3 saves. Dalton Varsho digs in. Singled in the 6th inning. The windup and the pitch. On the outside corner with a fastball. Strike 1. Roberts winds up. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on. There's a weak tapper. Over toward first. Charging hits. He takes it to the bag himself. And Varsho is out.
Let's bring it up. Okay, they ran out of some food, so that's why it's sitting hot dog.
Geraldo Perdomo digs in. Last time at bat he grounded out to Quiroz. Roberts to Perdomo. Swung on. Fly ball. To deep center field. Going after it is Hayward. And he snags it. Up to bat is Beer. Back in the 7th inning. He struck out. So he's 0 for 4. Now the pitch. Swung on. Sent in the air. Out to deep right center. Hayward back on it. Also coming over is Suzuki. But this one belongs to Hayward. And he reaches up for the catch. This game is in the books. The Cubs take this one, 4-2.
Give me a hand, please. I'll give him one too, huh?